If you have suddenly found yourself extremely interested in the Idaho student murder case, please do not take the Netflix documentary as gospel. There is a lot of incorrect and very much missing information. Come to YouTube. Hi, I have paid thousands of dollars for official documents, evidence, interviews, and information from the Moscow Police Department, as has several other channels over on YouTube. Dylan was not asleep. She was up all night. She was on social media, taking pictures, taking videos. She also did not call the rest of the roommates, and Bethany was the only one that answered. Bethany called Dylan first, and she's been lying ever since. We have several interviews from her. We have more interviews from Bethany. Come to YouTube. Come find out the truth.
911 location of your emergency.
Breaking news out of North Idaho. Moscow police are investigating a homicide on King Road.
Is she breathing?
No.
So 5'10", all black. Could you see what color his eyebrows were or anything like that?
No. I don't remember what his eyes look like either.
Officers discovered the bodies of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogen, and Kaylee Goncalves, but no weapon has been located at this time.
Arrested. That's 28-year-old Bryan Kohberger in custody today.
Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false.
We do not have evidence that the defendant had direct contact with 1122 or with residents of 1122, but we can put his phone in that area. There are many residences in that area. It's a dense population of mostly college-related occupants.
Everything is alleged.
I have noticed on TikTok that a lot of people are asking questions. People that are just now seeing the documentary for the first time. They are asking questions about why there is a delay in the 911 call. Yes, hello, welcome to the club. Welcome. Welcome all. A lot of people do not know that what Dylan is saying in the body cam footage that they're seeing on the documentary is false.
I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
And you didn't hear anything from Kaylee anymore?
No, after that I didn't hear anything. So then I kept calling for her name. I called on my phone, I called Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee, and none of them answered. So then I opened up the door to look, and that's when I saw the guy pass by. He looked at me, but he didn't come towards me or say anything, which was really confusing to me. I don't understand that. And I'm pretty sure he went out the side door. And then I called and said she thought maybe there was a fire or like a firework. We didn't know. She heard this loud noise and there was a light, I guess.
Did you hear like a pop, like a bang?
I don't think I ever heard a bang. I didn't think anything about fire or firework.
Or a gunshot?
I told her I don't think I heard anything of that, but I also was kind of in and out of it because I was so scared and I was really tired. And that's when I called and I told her, I need to come to your room because she was the only one that was answering me, so I just ran down there. And for a second I stopped and I saw Xana passed out and I thought maybe she was just like sleeping or something. I didn't think anything because I was so out of it.
They are assuming that she called out to all of the roommates and that Bethany magically was the only one who answered the phone. And that's when she then went downstairs to meet up with Bethany, and that's not true. From the phone records that were released in the courts, from the courts, because if we try to FOIA anything like this, it gets denied for privacy. But the courts, if it is an exhibit for a filing, it gets released. So right before the plea, which the majority of you guys were here for this, but we've got a lot of new people looking at this case. Dylan did not call Bethany. Dylan did not call anyone. Dylan got a phone call from Bethany where Bethany tells Dylan that she hears something and she sees some sort of light underneath her door and is asking Dylan if she saw or heard the same thing. Dylan says, no, but oh my God, here's all this other stuff. And then, and only then, when she gets off the phone with Bethany, does she start calling Xana and Kaylee and Maddie. She's not being honest. And one of the biggest questions that we have now that we have that information is what would have been the story if Bethany would have never called Dylan? If nothing would have woke Bethany up, would we see calls from Dylan's phone to anyone at all? What would the story have been? When would the call have finally been made? So I'm going to show you guys real quick Dylan's phone records per the filing that was released. When was this? March 26, 2025. This is not from my Google Share Drive. This is straight on the Case of Interest website. As you can see here, they show that Dylan adds a contact to her phone at 3:51 in the morning. For those of you who are new here from the documentary, this time is very important. Please go back on the channel and look for videos about 3:51 a.m. As you can see here from Bethany, there's an incoming call to Dylan's phone at 4:19 in the morning. 23 seconds. Then we see Dylan calling Xana, Kaylee, then Bethany again, and Maddie. 4:20, 4:20, 4:20, 4:21. Then the text messages start. Now, if I am wrong and the rest of the world is wrong, and she actually did call Bethany first, and for some reason they cut it out of this document, that's not on us. But Bethany's shows the exact same thing. There was no previous communication from Dylan. Bethany reached out to Dylan first. And even though Dylan is claiming that she heard screaming and someone's here and crying coming from Xana's room, it's not until after Bethany calls Dylan and Dylan answers the phone that she then starts calling everyone else in the house. Also, a lot of people are under the assumption, because of this documentary, that the girls just went to sleep. There's a lot of people in the comments fighting for their lives to get people to understand that that is not true. This is proof that for Dylan especially, this is not true. Now, there are gaps in Bethany's activity that could mean that she was in and out of sleep. She did claim in her interview that when she did wake up, that Dylan was always awake. That's important to note, because this again is proof that Dylan's phone activity not only never stopped, but she started taking pictures and creating video, and then started doing things on social media. And it went on all night. There's not a lot of time here where something was not happening. And something that's interesting, but I will also admit I cannot verify myself. There's the book that most people now know about called Broken Plea that has a lot of information in it, including a timeline, or shall I say pieces of a 108-page timeline that the author of the book claims to have seen and was given by one of the experts or whatever that helped him with the book. I have FOIA'd this myself with the Moscow Police Department because it was supposedly created in half by MPD, and they told me that it doesn't exist in their system. Now, I don't know if that's because the whole thing is considered work product, and once it got sent off to the Latell County Prosecutor's Office, it became work product and was no longer property of Moscow. I don't know. They never really clarified anything. But there's no way they didn't come up with a timeline, because one had to have been given to the prosecutor's office. Yes, we are still going through Dylan's phone activity because, like we said, she didn't go to sleep. It's been pages. I know some of you that are new here are probably quite shocked at how many times I have scrolled. I'm sure it is shocking. I know we were quite shocked ourselves. I don't understand why the police officers in this documentary, because the police officers in this documentary that are speaking did actually work this case. I don't understand why they are not out here being completely honest about this situation. A lot of people don't understand that this timeline has information from downloads of forensics from the devices, forensic downloads of the devices. Put the words together right, that might actually help the situation. Way before the 911 call was made, there's proof that Dylan went up 2 flights of stairs, according to the pieces of this timeline. Well, if she was in the third, on the bottom floor with Bethany, then going up 2 flights of stairs would mean the third floor where Maddie and Kaylee were. But she acts the entire time like she's not even aware that Maddie and Kaylee are even home, which is another very just strange thing. Very strange thing. But here is where we also see information coming in about Dylan and her father having a conversation. And this is all happening as Xana and Bethany are having conversations. And right before Dylan calls her friend Emily Allant and her boyfriend to come over and check for sound because she's not sure what actually happened. She's getting messages from her dad, scroll back up, that he wants to talk to her. What's a good time? What's a good time to call so that we can catch up? Just 5 minutes. That's all I need. From her father. And what she actually says to him, he gives her 2 times right here. When can I call you today and just chat? Does 1 o'clock work or is 2 better? And Dylan just says, 2's better. 2's better, Dad. Okay, I'll call you at 2. Just 5 or 10 minutes. We can catch up. And then she starts getting messages from Xana because Xana has now gotten messages and calls from Bethany. And now here comes the call to Emily. So you're talking to your father. Don't say a word. You'd rather push that conversation back a bit. Not yet, Dad. Not right yet, Dad. It's too early. Not yet. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Wait. You're not telling your dad that you're about to like freak out. You don't know what's going on. Just, yeah, Dad, let's push this conversation back. I need some time. And then she calls a girl. And then she calls a girl to then call her boyfriend because she doesn't know, as far as we can tell, that they were together that night. I mean, that's probably common, especially knowing that Hunter was leaving that Sunday. He was leaving. He was not coming back. His schooling there was done and over with. And in the Amazon Prime series, he said that was the day he told Ethan at the White's party that was his last day there, that he was leaving. That's what he said himself. So maybe it was just like, yeah, they'd be there. But she calls Emily. She doesn't tell her father. She calls Emily. While Bethany's talking to Xana. And people have been questioning like the blue car that they see in the body cam. Because it's crazy to me. This stuff's been out for so long and it's so many people. It's like brand new. They have no clue. It's wild. That blue SUV that pulls in is Xana. This is Xana right here. Xana is who Bethany is on the phone with before the 911 call is made. Now what we see, because Xana is saying, do I need to come get you? She's not saying, do I need to come over? Do I need to come get you? When we see Officer Nunes get out of his vehicle, we see Bethany is across the street in the other apartment, like in the apartment complex parking lot. She's away from the house. Or on the way back. On the way back from getting the crime scene tape. You can see her across. She starts walking over. The blue SUV that comes in before Officer Nunes' car. Everyone pretty much is under the assumption that Bethany put her ass in that SUV and they went to leave. And then here, holy shit, wait a minute. No, that's a cop. We're going to have to actually turn around. Shit's real. But then she gets out the car, and where does she go? She hightails it to the White's apartments. Bethany was trying to not have any of whatever the hell was about to happen. People are questioning what that SUV is. That's what it is. Bethany was trying to just take off, which is not unusual for her because she tells a story about hearing a scream right before the crime took place at some point. She says about a week before her 11/16 interview, and she tried to call Maddie, and Maddie didn't answer then. And so she called someone to come pick her up and take her out that house in the middle of the night after hearing a scream. So there's that. Yeah, there's a lot of people with eyes on this case. There's a lot of people that have their eyes on this case now.